Welcome back to the 1009 podcast. The house is back after another full weekend of college football and NFL. Still got bowl games going on right now. Penn State just had an 83-yard touchdown against Utah, courtesy of just a run play. Shout out to you, Grayson. But I guess before we get into any other talk, do we need to have a state of address of the program?
Yes, we do. And please allow the Seth Baker to start.
I think Grayson's got the hot take this week.
Yeah, Grayson.
No.
Yeah.
We're
Go ahead,
all
Grayson.
Southern gentlemen. Where are our manners? Seth, you're a guest. Go first.
I think we need.
That's not a guest anymore.
No,
Well,
I think we need to do our rational takes, and then I want Grayson's hot take.
Good. Yes.
So don't come to me first because I'm irrational.
No,
Well,
but
we're
go
gonna
ahead.
talk you down from a ledge, and then I'm gonna drop kick all of us off of it. How about that?
Right. Yeah, talking you down from a ledge will make me feel better about my take.
Okay. I'm not super encouraged about the state of our program right now. I don't feel like we are an elite team anymore. I don't feel like we compete with the people in the playoff right now, and I don't see it happening in the future, like with our coaching situation being the way that it is. I'm not talking about Dabo. I'm talking about assistants and guys that are developing players. I just am not super encouraged. It was nice to see Cade play, and Cade is definitely an improvement over DJ. I don't have the excitement that I've had in past years due to our not inability, but unwillingness to adapt to the current state of college football. That's where I'm at right now.
That was a lot more level-headed than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
I'm impressed, Beezy. Thank
Yeah.
you.
And I agree with the majority of that too.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with the majority of it. I don't think I agree with that we can't get back to the top.
Yeah.
I think very obvious changes have to be made for that to happen. That's it.
And I think there's a general consensus on where that change needs to be made. And most people say it's OC, but I don't think it's Streeter. It's someone on offense.
I mean, I think it's partially Streeter. I mean, I think the QB and wide receiver coach may need to say sayonara.
One more than the other, though.
Yeah,
Because if
partnerships
KJ
are big.
come in and have a whole season of performing great, then it's gonna start looking like it's more towards.
I don't know, because I think wide receivers is O-line. You develop those guys. A defensive lineman, you can develop those guys.
Yeah.
Linebackers, you can develop those guys. Like a running back, you can develop whatever. But wide receiver, I feel like, is just pure talent evaluation. Like,
We have guys regressing. That's the problem.
Are they regressing, or did
Yeah.
they just early in their career have Trevor Lawrence to throw to them?
I mean,
That's the point.
the routes
Who-
don't look the same.
Who are you referring to? Who's been
Jordan
here since-
Ngata,
Jay
Spector,
Williams.
EJ's gone.
Right.
RIP.
EJ's
But
gone,
what helps-
Spector's gone.
What's helping Grisham's case is guys like Antonio Williams, maybe the potential of Adam Randall, Cole Turner. Who would have thought that? I mean, I know they were trying to save his red shirt, but where was that all season?
His red shirt's still there.
It is.
Yeah, he's still redshirting.
Okay.
I don't like Joseph Ngata. Like the problem is, you're right. We after year one, we thought Ngata, we thought EJ Williams,
Frank Ladson.
like maybe not so much Frank, but we thought those other two guys would be first rounders, and then they regressed and fell off the face of the earth. And then, we thought, Brandon Spector, like he would be the next guy, right?
He's wearing number 13. Yeah.
And he turned out to be what he is. And there's just no depth. Like, yeah, Antonio Williams is good, but like it kind of falls back on Streeter. We don't use him at all. Like it's bubble
Same thing with
screens
like Shipley too.
and pop passes. Yeah, and then Adam Randall played like 9 snaps, so like I'm not really gonna sit here and be like he's the guy. He looked physically really good, but like who knows? But look, I mean like running back evaluation's good. Quarterback evaluation, regardless of what happened with DJ as a whole, is good. Defensive line evaluation is good. Linebacker evaluation is good. Like corners are
young.
young.
They're forced into playing.
Yeah, overarching, like our cornerback evaluation has been good. So I think we just might have just hit a rough little patch here, missing on some evaluation standpoint of wide receivers.
Was Jeff Scott who evaluated all of those guys initially? Like,
I mean, I don't think that like I don't think Jeff Scott was like watching every single regional.
That's where
camp to
those
be
offensive analysts comes into play.
But
that's what
like,
Grisham did.
My
before.
question is like, how much impact does Grisham have? Because if we're saying it's Grisham's fault for talent evaluation, like
I'm not saying I didn't say it's Grisham's fault for talent evaluation. I just said talent evaluation as a whole at the wide receiver position is a problem.
But isn't that crazy? Because we were wide receiver U, like we were the premier program for wide receivers. What change has been made?
Other teams have gone crazy.
Also,
I mean, like Ohio State, Bama.
Or did we just really hit on guys?
I agree with that too. We've had 1 or 2 guys every couple of years that have gone on, and they've done more in the NFL than they really did at college. Like
I'm not even talking about that part. I'm talking about like other than Sammy Watkins, T. Higgins, like
Mike Williams.
Justin Ross. Like we've never really had 5-star guys, but like Ohio State brings in 4 every year. Alabama brings in 3 every year. Like Georgia's bringing in 2 every year. Like I think we kind of just got lucky. If I'm being honest,
man. Like, and you see that picture that's thrown around every now and then that's got Nuke, Sammy, Martavis, like all these insane guys. I don't think that's luck. There's definitely a valuation there, and like there's more to it.
Quarterbacks that we've had they've been able to distribute the ball well. Like Taj was a great quarterback, underrated. Deshaun, Trevor's Trevor. Like.
Also, it needs to be said that if we had Deshaun Watson or Trevor Lawrence-esque talent, we're not having this conversation.
Yeah.
It hides a lot. That's fair.
It does. That's true.
I bet Joseph Ngata looks a hell of a lot better when Trevor Lawrence is throwing to him. EJ Williams looks like a first rounder when Trevor Lawrence is throwing to him.
Mm-hmm.
Cornell Powell looked like a 5th rounder when Trevor Lawrence was throwing to him. Like Amari Rodgers was like a 3rd rounder when Trevor Lawrence was throwing to him, and then he gets cut by the Packers for reasons other than being a receiver. But like still, a lot of issues are masked when you have generational quarterbacks.
Yeah, and they did look the wide receivers did look better.
They did. They looked better. Yeah. They made plays.
Yeah. The last 2 games, honestly.
Yeah. There's just different little pep in their step. So
it's got to be the guy that's getting them the ball. And
that's true.
We don't.
Go ahead, Bailey. Sorry.
We don't have a Jamison Williams. We don't have a Chris Olave. We don't have a Jackson Smith-Njigba. Like no one's going to burn anybody. Don't have those guys.
Yeah.
No one's going to burn anybody. No one's going to go up top over somebody to catch a ball.
That's it stands right now.
Ooh. We don't have, and it's been a long time since we haven't had that. I know we had the quarterbacks back then too. I mean, like 2 years, 3 years.
This is like goldfish memory type stuff. Yeah, it's very recent.
Yeah. T. Higgins, Justin Ross, never existed.
Well, when I say a long time, I mean 2 seasons. I mean,
right. That's
30 games.
2 seasons of 10+ win seasons.
30 games. But yeah, keep going.
They won 20 of those.
So, Seth, keep going.
Yeah. What do you mean? I'm done.
So, is it Grayson's turn to throw us off the edge?
Yes.
Yeah, I think you just go up and down the coaching staff and ask every single one of them, are you willing to mutiny against Dabo and get people through the portal to make up for what we're losing? I think that's not the boogeyman, but it's the most easily fixed one because we've shown in recruiting high school kids that we're among the top in the country. We're a top 10 class this year. coming off a Cheez-It Bowl. So I don't understand why we refuse to evolve, because if we don't, we're going to be the good old boys that go 8-4 every year like Nebraska used to.
Right. I'm looking at it now. Yeah. USC has 2 5-stars in the portal. Alabama has 2 5-stars in the portal. That matters.
We just watched a TCU team who added a dozen guys in the portal, like a top 10 transfer class,
Right.
go from 5-7 to beating Michigan and going to a national championship game, which is where
and
we should be, which is where the standard is for us based on this past experience we've been talking about for 10 minutes.
we might see that in our own conference too.
Florida State has kicked our ass in this transfer stuff, and I'm sick of it. I'm tired of it. It's ridiculous. They got a kid from our state.
They got that cornerback from Virginia, like you sent. Like everybody wanted him, and Florida State gets him.
Right. We're going to dare the team that haunted this program for a decade plus to come back off the mat and just continue to kick our ass.
Oh, and they're coming.
And we're going to let them do it.
Jordan
Travis coming back. I know that game's in Clemson. We just lost to South Carolina at home. So I think that is gone as far as being we can survive because it's in Death Valley. I mean, Spencer Rattler beat us. Why the hell can Jordan Travis not? With, again, half a dozen
DJ
blue
beat
chip
us.
transfers that we just let walk down to Tallahassee for no reason other than this program doesn't need it. Bullshit, it doesn't need it.
We get transfers. We get transfers.
Okay, yeah. Bear Bryant's mailman's grandson is going to play QB 17. That's great. That changes nothing.
Program.
I'm trying here, but
good.
I think it's Hunter Johnson. I get, but he cannot be the only transfer. What we brought him in for made a lot of sense, and I'm glad he came back. But I mean, seriously,
he didn't do anything this year. He played like 4 snaps.
Right, but he was there more as a mentor and an assistant than anything else.
Yeah, we're not bringing in guys in to make an impact. I mean,
right. Yeah, Florida State by transfer portal stars is bringing in a 4-star D lineman, a 4-star tight end, a 4-star interior offensive lineman, a 4-star tackle, a 4-star corner, a 4-star D lineman, and a 4-star tight end.
And then the corner from yesterday.
Yeah, I included that, I think.
And that tight end is a guy that can play wide receiver and running back, and we saw that.
Right, he's a gadget guy. Yeah.
Malik Feaster or whatever.
The name doesn't come to me off memory, but we could use a corner or 4.
Right.
I think Wiggins and what's his face are going to. I think they'll be fine. They're just young. They show their youth, and then that the guy he got.
They shouldn't have to. Grayson's point. They shouldn't have to show their youth.
Yeah.
Right.
When
they've done valiantly in the spots we've put them in, but it's embarrassing they're in those spots given where our program is right now.
Right.
I don't understand it.
I will say,
returner, really.
I will say this, that it is a very down year in terms of portal compared to last year.
Right, that's true too, which makes it all the more embarrassing what's Florida State's brought in this down class.
Yeah, I mean, they brought in all the top guys, like all of them.
Right, and if they needed a quarterback, they'd have gotten one. So I don't understand it. They're bringing back Jordan Travis, who's the best returning QB in the ACC, I think, and that is keeping in mind Drake May. I think he's that good.
No, look, I'm completely with you. I mean,
he might
we're
be
fall by the
ACC
wayside. So Florida State has in the transfer portal rankings. Florida State has number 4, 8, 13, 25, 46, and then et cetera, et cetera. But I mean, that's insane. Like that's
the best class. Like that's it.
Yeah.
If they were,
we have number like 987 at quarterback. Who will not play snap. No,
Why do y'all think is the actual reason though that we are not approaching? Like, is it just
because Seth? If
loyalty?
a guy doesn't pan out, it's not on the kid. It's on the coaching staff for offering the kid.
Yeah, and because somewhere Jesus says that thou shalt not bringeth in from the portal, apparently.
Right.
And
if he's not good enough for one program, he's not good enough for ours.
Well,
like if he sits, like the center from Michigan, from Virginia last year went in the portal. Everybody's like, okay, this is a home run first portal edition for Clemson. What did we do? Nothing. Where'd he go? Michigan. Remington Award winner. The unit won the award.
Right.
And they were 2 pick sixes away from playing for national championship.
Yeah,
So,
it's not. Yeah, it's not like
ridiculous.
that guy transferred and just kind of started. He won the nation's top
He
center.
was the best
Yeah.
center in the country, which after
Right.
watching Tennessee beat us, we probably could have used that because they had like 17 free rushers in 60 minutes.
Correct. So
But like even guys say like Justin Flo, we were heavily recruiting that guy.
we should
Now
pick
he's
him up
transferred.
now. We
Yeah.
should pick him up
But
right
we
now.
won't.
So like
Again,
that's my
Has he
thing.
has
is
he committed
why,
anywhere? Is he
No.
still
I don't
open?
know. I'm
I
looking.
don't think he has.
when you
I
have
would've
that
remembered-
Going to
relationship
Arizona.
with a
He's going
guy,
to Arizona.
He's going
God.
to Arizona.
Yeah. And by the way, he was really good in college. Like
He was
Yeah.
very, very good.
Yeah. What's that?
but well, that's what I was saying is like guys that we have made a relationship with during the recruiting process, if they end up joining us, like DJ is a perfect example to show the coaches, hey, sometimes things just don't work out at a certain team. Like you're not necessarily a
But
bad player.
we've seen that for 2 or 3 years now with guys just dipping on us. Like, you think DJ's the one that's going to break their news to him?
Well, DJ
No.
was a guy. I don't think so either. No, but I mean, he's a guy that they've had a lot of loyalty to and had a lot of confidence in, and I mean, they have a lot of
What's the point here?
appreciation for him.
The-
I'm saying
It
I'm
paid no
saying-
dividends though. It
Well, I'm
benefited
saying-
nobody.
what I'm saying is, if the reason that they don't approach
Bring
guys in
in
the
guys?
portal is because those guys aren't good enough. Or
No,
like
I think
No,
it's.
that's not it.
That's not
it's-
the reason why. No.
Remember when that guy decommitted from Clemson over the summer and like was gonna look at other schools and Clemson just said, no, you're not. There's no chance you're coming back. It's a loyalty thing. Like they didn't go after Flo. You commit somewhere else, they're like, oh, you don't want to be here at all. So why transfer back when you're don't work out of
Also,
your
we
own-
lost
So you
Corey
think-
Foreman because we wouldn't let him take official visits elsewhere. So
Yeah,
So you think that Dabo's
I'm actually okay with that
fault-
rule. I want that on the record. I'm okay with that rule.
yeah,
I am too. I'm
Yeah,
just saying
fine,
that
yeah.
produces outcomes that we may not like in recruiting.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
No, that rule I'm fine with staying
So-
forever. Honestly.
So
Yeah,
Jacob,
commitment's a
you said that Dabo is loyal to a fault. Do you think that's playing into this?
Well, he favors seniority, and we've seen it. I mean, Kelly Bryant played in front of Trevor Lawrence for like a month. So I mean, this is not a new thing.
And by the
So-
way,
In front of
in
Deshaun, too.
camp, there was never a day when I was like, yeah, Kelly Bryant's better than Trevor.
yeah.
Never a day. Not
Right.
There was,
It was just the standard was so high to make Trevor earn it that it was impossible to do before the
right.
season
The
started.
first ball, I'm pretty sure the first ball I ever saw Trevor Lawrence throw, I was like, yep, that's our guy.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure me and you were standing beside each other at a fall camp and like, hell,
Yeah, that's our guy. Yeah.
because he threw it like to the opposite hatch, like opposite numbers on a 35-yard rope. And we're like, okay, let's go.
Right. Like they would even do like individual drills. I was like, okay, one guy I can tell should start, and the other
Right.
guy,
One guy,
unfortunately,
the other guy's
and
a
we
really
love him,
good college
is Kelly
player.
Bryant.
Right.
Yeah. It was just,
Right.
Yeah, Seth. So to your point, answer a couple questions. There are guys in the portal better than who is on our roster. There are. I'm not gonna say this year in particular. There's probably not that many. Okay.
But there's
But
more
there's-
than one.
There's enough guys in the portal that went to lesser schools than Clemson University that could be starting on this team next year.
Mhm.
There are guys out there that could be our number 3 wide receiver next year because we have 2. I don't even know if we're bringing in anybody next year. Do we even have a receiver coming in?
I think one blue chip guy, I think.
We got that
Like a
running
four-star.
back kind of.
Also, I
Sure
heard a
will.
rumor with the corner from Virginia. Another wrinkle in the whole portal situation is we're not offering any or nearly enough in the NIL attractiveness, which I realize you're not supposed to do by the letter of the rule, but that's exactly what it is. And that's why guys like
got a
Justin
four-star
Flo are
coming in.
going to damn Arizona to play football.
That's not a. By the way, that is not a blue chip wide receiver recruit.
Is he not a 4-star?
He
Yeah.
is, but he's 363 nationally.
Right, but
He's
isn't
not
blue chip 4 or 5? Or am I just remembering that
A
wrong?
blue chip, I would say, is top 50 recruit.
Overall? Okay.
Yeah, I
There's
would
a-
say that.
I
That's
had
a
that much more
blue
broadly
chip.
then.
There's a kid from Greenville that Yusef Kelly's son, like, but they're not blue chips like you mentioned. We got guys on the D line that are going to be
Right, like
That'll
Peter
be
Woods
good.
is going to be day one a problem.
Yeah, our two receiver commits are 360 whatever overall nationally and 746 nationally, a 3-star, and that's
And then
it.
909.
The corner?
No. Oh yeah, he's corner. I was, my eyes were glitching.
So yeah, I mean, like, who are we even bringing in?
Like, that is such a huge need. How are we missing that?
That's such a huge need. If we're not going to do the portal, fine, but bring in 7 receivers next year.
That's
Maybe
what I
the
meant.
coaches-
And I guess the Fleming hot take is if we can't have coaches that will go in the portal and get guys, and we let Florida State pass us by, and we let Miami come back from deader than dead and pass us by, and Lord knows that there's another ACC team in there that does it. I mean, at what point do we start firing coaches above position coaches?
At what point are we like, yeah, the problem is Taj Boyd as an analyst, not Tyler Grisham as a receivers coach?
I mean, how
Yeah.
long are we going to die on this hill of this program does not need portal people ever? As we go from a top 5 spot in the nation to a top 25 or worse. Because that trajectory is pointing much lower than it has in the past.
Agreed.
I think one more year we be able to really tell.
We said this last year. We've said this for 2 years now.
Did we?
Every January, we're like, no. Like this past 2. We bad year, bad season,
Championship 2 years ago, so
Yeah.
whatever.
And we were in
This
the
time
playoffs.
last year, I know for a fact, we're like, okay, DJ season is what it is. Lost a bunch of close games, won a bunch of close games. Don't need the portal. We have our own guys. We'll do this nepotism coaching BS, and then we're going to be back right magically where we left off, leaving New Orleans or whatever it was.
But-
so
Honestly, we were a few plays from being in the playoffs too. That's the thing.
that would not have gone well at all.
I know exactly.
I don't want to be
I said this, we would've
Oklahoma
gotten boat
going and
race,
getting
but
our
we
ass
were-
kicked by 40 every year.
we would have lost by 60.
We were honestly a drop punt away from being in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Or
Right,
at,
and
like,
then
number 5.
pick a team. We lose that team by literally
Yeah.
63
yeah.
points.
So do you think that would have been better for our coaches to just
It-
get completely embarrassed on the
I would
national
have
stage?
rather
like
lost
that?
Yes.
the playoffs.
Yeah, because maybe it would
Oracle.
produce change.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People see that playoff and it's like, oh, there was a chance we could win the Natty.
Playoff
Instead of
matters.
Lincoln Riley got the
Yeah.
Southern Cal job from getting murdered every year in the playoff. Every year for half a decade, they went and they gave up 60 points, lost
then
by 30,
again,
and he got a better job
how
because of
Dabo is. It's like he'd be like, "Well, we made it to the playoff. We're still an elite team. I mean, they were just better than us." Like,
He said that after we lost to Ohio State.
right.
yeah.
By
so
the
he's
way-
like, "We're still good. We made it to the playoff."
I'm going through the top receiver rankings for 24. The top guy, the number 1 overall receiver is committed to Ohio State. Whatever.
Yeah.
The number 2 guy, we did not offer. The number 3 guy, we did offer, but he doesn't want to go there. That's fine. The number 4 guy is going to Ohio State, but we did not offer him. The number 5 guy is going to Notre Dame. Hang on, but shocker, we did not
didn't
offer. Correct.
Well, we
number
don't-
6 guy.
Go ahead.
What?
Go ahead. Never mind.
It's not gonna. There's no chance it ends. The number 6 guy, we did not offer.
I sense a trend.
Correct. The number 7 guy, we did not offer.
I
The
mean,
number 8
what
guy.
is going on?
This
The
is
number
not a
8
new
guy.
thing, Seth.
We did not offer.
We're not offering until
We don't
like,
offer early, and as far as volume of offers, it's us, Stanford, and service academies. Like that. That's just the reality.
Yeah,
it's always
we
been
don't
like that.
offer people, but
Right. Which there's a
is it
variety of
usually
reasons.
this late in the process that we still haven't offered guys.
We're on to 2024, so most of our
Right.
offers are probably out.
That calendar is
We need to be
flipped.
on the 2025.
Yeah.
Which we won't be because we don't offer early.
So, like if receiver is such a big position in need, what if we can see that? How come the coaches can't? Like how
Because
come
the one
coaches-
that was
Well,
doing
they
all the
can. They're just
recruiting
being
is
told
gone.
not to pursue in the portal, and there's a bunch of criteria that are not present elsewhere as far as offering kids. So I think that it's not really a lack of looking; it's a lack of being allowed to from the top offer kids, bring kids in from the portal, etc.
No, but here's the thing, man. Here's the thing. They probably don't think that because their entire lives is owed
Penn
to
State.
William Sweeney.
Which that's a fair point too. They just don't know. They've never had the blinders off enough to look.
Right. Like, they probably are like, yep, this is the way. We won a national championship here. Nothing has changed. We're still Clemson. Like, yada, 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 yada.
We're still
But
wide receiver you.
I don't know if anyone's noticed this, but the landscape of college football
Changed.
changed a lot.
And we have not at all.
Mm-mm.
And the results have been painfully predictable since then.
And it's sending us in its rearview mirror.
Yeah,
We are looking
that's
at fainting red lights.
I guess that's the word to describe this. It's not even disappointing. It's painfully predictable.
Yeah.
Like, you know what's going to happen.
No one's immune to it. Saban's not, Dabo's not, Kirby Smart's not. No
We
one
reached
is.
the top of the mountain. We won our national championships. And we're coasting or we're just going back down the mountain. We're not trying to climb more. If they're like,
Which doesn't make sense. Like that's
We have
the
no
whole reason
interest
you
in
play the game.
adapting to
Yeah.
maintain that. And I don't understand it.
he thinks that the formula is what we have in place, and that's going to be able to solve everything.
I
And
think so.
It was pre-NIL. It was.
yeah,
The fact
and
that all of these guys, so half of our coaches and analysts, are Clemson guys, you think
Analysts doesn't-
that?
They
analysts,
don't
I'm
have the
fine
impact
with
enough.
guys coming back.
Okay,
I
well,
don't
what I'm
know-
saying
I
is
don't
our
know if I'm-
staff. Go ahead.
I don't know if I'm fine with the analyst the more that I think about it.
I'm
I'm
not
fine.
at all.
I'm fine with that one guy that I said because by all accounts, he's a defensive genius, right?
Yeah,
But,
he was there
okay,
since we've been there.
Right. He's been there
But-
forever.
But I'm sorry, Cole Stout. Go start your coaching career at Furman. You weren't
Right.
that good. You don't just Taj Boyd, fine. CJ Spiller, fine. But you know that Daniel guy that's a veteran.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
Is he an
what?
It's a
analyst?
sympathy.
He's not
Yes.
an analyst.
I think he's
Yes,
full
he is.
time now.
Yeah,
What?
he's got a
Daniel Boyd.
Yeah, Daniel Boyd.
Yeah.
like,
I'm
I'm-
thinking of Daniel Rodriguez.
I'm sorry, but like, we don't like. You should not start your coaching career at Clemson, South Carolina,
No.
unless you're a college football stud. At Clemson.
they're not analysts. They're player development.
Doesn't matter.
I don't know.
Whatever.
I don't know what the difference is.
No
I think you're
full-time
only allowed to
title.
have so
You should
many
start
analysts.
with Clemson.
Yeah. They're the guys that talk to us when they're trying to talk to a player.
But yeah, so let's once again, let's start our careers at Furman. Go to Virginia. Go to USF. Go to. I mean,
Coastal,
our coaching tree is not that extensive, but if Dabo Sweeney makes one call, he can get you in any program he wants.
Yeah, I just saw
Especially at that
Ryan
level.
Carter's at
That's
Oklahoma.
not that difficult.
Ryan Carter's at Oklahoma.
Yes.
I'm
Yeah.
fine with that, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, BV wants to bring you for like defense and culture, whatever. But like, don't do it at Clemson.
Yeah, Taj
It
Boyd
has
was
not
out of the league for 5 years or something like that, and was in real estate.
Yeah, it was just a show
Yeah.
pony for like
Yeah.
the newest development in Clemson.
Lakeside Lodge. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So like, here's the deal. Here's the rub. This is literally the scene from Moneyball, where they're all sitting at the table, and he's like, "Adapt or die," and that's where we're at.
We're
Like-
on some
And
IV.
Dabo's saying,
We're-
"Kill me" right now is what he's doing.
Dabo's trying to Dabo's literally trying to play like the Yankees with the Oakland A's payroll. The whole thing is just Clemson University right now. Like, we're
Yeah.
trying to act like we're Georgia, Ohio State, Alabama. Even though Alabama had a down year, I understand. But still, like, we're trying to act like we're those programs, but we're not anymore.
We're not.
Would you say
We
we
never
were a
have been.
dynasty at all?
No.
No.
Yeah, I would. You're wrong. Y'all are all wrong. Y'all are
No, I was just
all
that
wrong.
was just a question. That was just a general question.
We're
No.
not. We have never been Alabama.
When I think
Michigan,
dynasty, I
Notre
think the
Dame.
Saban run, which I realize is unique in itself, but I think
We had
dynasty
6 years,
should be a lot more
7
rare.
years
We
we
are-
in the playoffs.
We are one Nick Saban away from having 5 straight national championships.
Right, which is a dynasty. That's what I'm saying.
And Edo.
I would say 2 national championships in 3 years, and 6 straight playoff appearances, and 40 straight home wins, and 6
Yeah.
straight ACC championships. I would say that's as close to a dynasty as it gets.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I'm at with it.
And we ran into
Close
the
to
greatest team of all time in one of
Well,
those.
greatest offense, but yeah.
That defense has some stuff too, man.
Do you think
Well, they
that
played like
nationally,
shit,
though,
so.
objectively speaking, I mean, yes, all of those are
Compared to
great
Alabama,
accomplishments.
I
Like,
wouldn't say we're a dynasty. But
nationally, does anybody call Clemson, even during that stretch?
yeah, because people are saying it's
Yes.
over.
Well, yeah,
the
during the
dynasty's
stretch,
over.
yeah.
Yeah.
But when the comparison is Saban, then that's tough.
You compare anything to Saban, no one in college football history looks good.
No.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
where I
But when
struggle with it, all I'm saying.
people are already saying the dynasty is over, so there's people that have been
We
calling it
had
a
a
dynasty
dynasty.
too.
We did. We
Yeah.
absolutely did. To say that we went to 6 straight, we were the 4 best teams in the country for 6 straight years with 6 straight ACC titles with 40 home wins. You're trying to tell me that's not a dynasty? It absolutely is. And you sprinkle in 2 national titles and 3 national championship game losses. Come on.
I mean, I don't necessarily agree with it, but the first point of pushing back is going to be it was in the ACC.
I mean, we still won 2 national championships.
Yeah.
Right, which is why
You still got to win
that
the
would be my
conference.
first
I mean,
point.
Alabama
We
didn't
beat
win
Saban
6 straight
twice.
SEC championships.
And I guess the general word with Georgia is now they're starting to use dynasty if they win back to back. So I guess if that's the threshold,
Yeah.
then
I
we
don't
were
know.
a dynasty.
I don't know if back-to-back's a dynasty.
It's not.
I think it's just
I think
if you win
I think
3
it
out
has
of
to
4,
be
2 out of 3.
3
My
out of 4
definition of that is just, I guess,
definitely.
more elevated than most
Yeah.
people's. But
I mean, the only dynasties you can really think of then is Nebraska in the 90s, Oklahoma in the 80s,
Alabama.
Alabama in the 10s.
Miami.
Nah. They only won 1, I think.
yeah.
So national, well, yeah, it does.
You got to win at least 2.
Right. I think that's fair. I think 3 is like cemented, and we could get a third,
Yeah.
but we're gonna have to change a
Eh,
lot. I don't see
I'll
it.
take it back. Miami was a dynasty. They won in 85, 86, and 88.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay, never mind.
And then they won in 92, 94, 2000, and 2002.
So they had a
Right, so
So
20-year dynasty.
if we pick up a third one in a year or two, then I think we're amongst that company
It's just a blip in the
immediately.
radar.
Yeah.
Do we want to talk Orange Bowl now that we're?
I mean,
I think that was our Orange Bowl talk.
yeah.
No, that's fine.
Defense was fine. Tennessee's got a good offense. They're gonna get explosive plays. They run fast.
Dude, the scheme
Yeah.
of Tennessee is insane. Like they just, as somebody who has watched them very closely all year, the whole season, they just had guys run 60 yards open instead of I'm not talking like a 5-yard cushion where it's a pretty easy throw. I'm talking 60 wide ass yards, at the end of the game the other day, where everyone's sitting around did that guy come from the sidelines? What's going on?
Yeah, and you got a guy who can throw a 100-mile-an-hour fastball on a rope, 80 yards.
Yeah, Joe Milton should go play baseball.
I do want.
Incredible closer.
I did want to mention one thing. Y'all might not have caught this, but I did. Post-game media, the guys for Tennessee were Joe Milton, a guy named Squirrel, and then the Beezy, the D lineman that gave us hell all night. I just don't understand. You're a year removed from losing a bowl game to Purdue. Who the hell do you think you are to act like y'all are worth shit? You can sit there and giggle after
it's because they
scoring
beat
14 points
name.
in 3 quarters. I mean, seriously?
Big Clemson.
They did the same thing when they beat Bama.
Is that how quickly you just think you're relevant after 25 years of playing like shit and cheating and going 5-7? And Joe Milton's more likely to be selling Escalades in Knoxville than playing in the NFL. I mean, honestly.
Dude, Tennessee beat 2 of the Big 4 this year.
Well, Joe Milton didn't, but
they beat 1 of them.
Yeah.
Right, in our worst year.
He's 50. Last year was our worst year.
Yeah, this year we did win 11 games.
I like the way we ended the year, though.
And we could have been in the playoff.
Right, but South Carolina loss resonates more than just about any of the other losses, though.
I would, if we missed if we flipped, let's say we beat Notre Dame and lose to South Carolina, I think we're still having this conversation.
Yeah.
But if we beat South Carolina and lose to Notre Dame, I don't think we're having this conversation.
Yeah, because if that
Right,
happens,
that
we're
loss brings
probably
about
in
a
the
lot of
playoffs.
conversations.
Yeah, as it should, by the way. It should.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Because for a long, long time, you were gauged on one thing, or you were, what do you say on one thing? You were gauged against
Judged.
one thing. You were judged against one thing. You were compared to one thing. Are you better than the University of South Carolina?
Right.
And
we're
right
seeing that
now,
with Ryan
we
Day right
cannot
now.
definitively say yes.
For the first time since like 2013. Right.
Correct. Yeah,
And that's what the same Ohio State's in that same boat. Yeah, they made the playoffs, but most of their fans want to beat Michigan rather than just about anything.
Right. That's why Ron Day's in the hot seat. He's like 45-6 or whatever it is.
Yeah, I'll push back on that a little bit. I mean, I think
We'll get to playoff in a second. I
Okay.
wanted to bring up the post game thing because I thought it was interesting. The sudden arrogance from some interesting parts of that team.
That's how we saw it with South Carolina too. Like they haven't beaten us worth a damn in 7 years, and they already think they're the greatest team ever.
Right,
So,
but I mean, if Beezy looks in a mirror and doesn't give up 70 to Spencer Rattler, they're in a playoff. Don't have to worry about Clemson's trash defense. So I think that was just interesting to I guess how quickly they flush one of the more embarrassing losses in their program's history. But that's just me.
they're gonna do that.
I mean, they weren't smoking cigars like Joe Burrow, which I think that is pretty much the threshold to act like you're something is you win a national championship. But some places have thresholds much lower than ours, so it's easy to forget.
Is our threshold that much lower now? Is our threshold that much lower?
No, yeah, I think it should be. The results won't be if we don't change, but I think the expectations shouldn't move at all.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Yeah, we still win. I mean, a couple years we win the conference, we're in the playoffs. Like that.
But to Grayson's credit, our standard is not to make the playoffs.
Yeah, it's to win it.
It was in 14 and 15.
If we make the playoffs, it is not a good year anymore. It is an expected year.
2015 is the last time that was an acceptable result.
Yeah.
Because we did it, and we won the semi and went to the championship.
What about the year after Deshaun? The year after Deshaun might have been one of those years we make it because we saw it throughout the year.
In hindsight, after the regular season, yeah. But I think going into that season, the expectation was still a playoff. Or, excuse me, still a championship.
Absolutely. Yes, the expectation that year was still the playoffs.
I mean, yeah, we were disappointed when we got there and got smacked by Bama.
And Alex Spence was the only one that scored points. Yeah, that was.
Yeah, if we got to the playoff this year and got smacked, we'd be like, okay, figures.
Yep.
Right, but again, taking into account what we saw in the regular season, I think preseason is the key word there.
Yes.
I just thought our game was one of the most frustrating I've ever watched.
Oh, it was.
It wasn't BT Potter's fault, but Jesus Christ, kid.
Yeah. I can't put much onto him.
What?
He's done too much for this team.
I'm really not. I'm just saying, like, of all the cogs to go wrong.
It was.
Okay, one was like 55 yards. Who in the hell in our school ever is going to make that?
Him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think that's.
All right. Okay.
The fake, though,
is
what I have an issue with.
The other 6 points. Okay, so 6 points are on, what's his name? BT.
The 42-yarder, yes.
The 3-point, he missed 3 kicks.
I realize that, but 2 were north of 50, I believe.
No,
they're both like 45 and lower.
Yeah.
So 6 points, sure.
6 are to BT and 3 are to Dabo Sweeney. So 9 points.
By the way, putting his kid in there.
At one point, if I do recall right, it was 21-14.
Right, and then it was NA City, and that was it.
We should have been, but defensively, you play the game a lot different.
And we also missed out on 3 points at halftime.
Correct, yes.
After every drive crossed the 50, yeah.
There's a very realistic possibility that after that second touchdown, we should have been up 27-21.
We scored going into halftime. It's going to be a different
better
game.
than them. Just we got in the red zone and couldn't play football anymore.
And this is another thing I wrestle with. I'm pretty sure we're the better team.
I'm very sure after watching that game. Yeah.
Yeah,
like
we dominated statistically. We dominated.
As presently constructed with their guys missing and our guys missing, the guys that played.
Correct.
We were the better team.
Yes. Yeah, I'm not counting. This is Tennessee fans. I'm not saying with Hendon Hooker, Jalen Hyatt, and Cedric Tillman that you guys aren't better. You probably still are.
Right, and then we throw in 2 top 15 picks on defense, and they don't score wide open 45-yard touchdowns because Joe Milton's on his ass. So
I don't know. They still might with that secondary.
no, they don't. I can confidently say they
You
don't.
give him 2 seconds of open pocket, and he'll
They
probably
don't
hit
score
a guy.
30. They're just not.
I don't think they scored 30 if we scored 24. Like,
Yeah.
Right.
I'm not so sure. Like, the 31 is that indicative of how well the defense.
Well, no, because they had given up 14 up until the last play of the third quarter, which is part of my point about the smirking. Like,
Correct.
Really? Like, honestly?
Y'all didn't. Yeah, they really. Yeah, they didn't even play. We dominated statistically, like time of possession, yards.
13 minutes.
Plays.
Time of possession advantage.
Every notable category we beat them.
Right,
Yeah.
and then we trust Drew
Plays.
Sweeney, who has been not in his 19 years of life been taught to pitch the damn ball apparently. So that was
Yeah,
an
I don't
interesting
know.
As an
part of that.
organized keeper.
BT walks in if he pitches that.
He's asked to make one athletic play in the history of his life, and he decides to keep it.
Okay, so no longer putting the other 3 points on Dabo. I'll put it on Drew, and I like Drew.
Yeah.
But
you
we
have to.
picked that
I do
ball
too.
with a
I mean,
touchdown.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that didn't expand upon
It was a
past his
designed
field
play
or anything
though
else.
for him to keep it.
No,
How
it
you
was an
designed that
option.
play and not build a pitch in? I mean, seriously, why was BT even running beside him if there was
Yeah.
no option for that?
No, there was definitely the option for the pitch if he was there. He's supposed to pitch it. Like, I
Which
don't
is
want
why
to
you
make
don't
a
put
play.
people in like that in spots like that.
Yep.
It was
We've only got
way
one
too
more
early to
Sweeney
go
play,
for it.
Great solution.
correct? We got one more Sweeney left to play.
Yeah.
Okay. Someone
Someone say
that
the
play.
word.
Clay
Huh?
Sweeney, correct?
I don't know. Will was pretty bad.
Which again, I have no problem with him being on the team and clean white jerseys and pads. I don't care. But if you're going to put him in a game in that spot and they fuck up like that, then I'm sorry, you're losing me on the actual them playing part.
Yeah.
No,
That
that's
can't
my
happen.
point too. I have zero problem with nepotism when it comes to walk-ons being on the team. I have a
Right.
problem when nepotism steps on the field.
Like, was it Florida State
Soft.
who they had Will Sweeney catching punts and they just like took 15 yards at a time, teeing off on his ass just to do it?
I
Yeah.
think so, yeah. Or no.
Yeah.
It was or this year it was Wake Forest kicking the ball to Drew Sweeney
Right.
kickoff return.
Right.
If they kill him.
Yes. Which
We did fix that.
We did fix it, but it
Right.
shouldn't have happened.
Should have
Yeah,
you
never
should have
been-
learned from
That
that
makes
and not given him the ball in a fake, is what I'm saying.
We have 9 special teams coordinators. Like,
And none of them do anything.
One is a director. His title is literally
He needs to
where'd
go
he go?
today.
Director of Special Teams. Like
Who's this?
Bill
Spires.
Spires.
Spires. Okay.
Some of the titles that we have are stupid.
They can be got rid of, I think, safely.
that's because you can only have 13 coaches, boys. You got to make up something
Yep.
somewhere.
I wonder
They
if
should take
all
out. They
programs
should go
are
talk
this
to the
way, though.
baseball staff if they're worried about not having enough paid coaches. I think
Like
it's
Robbie
ridiculous.
Caldwell is the director of high school relations and sophomore transition. What does that mean?
Whatever. Give him a field pass. Give all 7 of his nephews a field pass. Put trainers in the box. Who cares?
I didn't see
Whatever.
Robbie Caldwell around there. Oh, I guess he just recently retired.
We have a lot of people that retire that I see on the TV on sidelines every weekend.
Daddy
Pooh.
I really, that's one of them. I just
Well,
He still does.
You
Stuff.
ain't-
He helps out
Yeah.
Dooley now, I think.
right, which
yeah.
is fine.
It's like
People are Clemson for
logistics and shit.
decades. That's different. I think that's not one I have an issue with.
Nah.
Do y'all think most programs function in that way?
Yes.
To
I
an
mean,
extent,
you look at
not
Nick
as much.
Saban. Nick Saban's bringing back coaches as like a
Like a
AA
pet project.
He's bringing
Yeah.
back actual good coaches that then leave and get good jobs and do well. That's
That's
different.
he's
also
coaching
true.
rehab.
Who the hell is our Steve Sarkisian? No one.
Terry Bowden.
Because Jesus, that's getting generous. But I mean, we just give people the safe haven without the track record and ability to actually move on and make something of their coaching career outside Clemson, which is why our coaching tree is like, I even know, like what, 3 people? I mean,
And they're
I mean,
all like we
At the
don't.
Power 5.
Abbott doesn't have one.
Or-
right.
Yeah, at the Power 5. Without Chad Morris, it's 2. Or actually, without Jeff Scott, it's 1, right? Oh, Brent Venables, 2.
Brent and Elliott
Yeah.
for another year. I think that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's gone.
I think
after
Brent was left.
Yeah, Elliott's
Well-
gone after next year. 100%.
Well, Jeff Scott's back in Clemson.
He's not coaching those next year.
He said he's
Yeah.
not coaching in 2020, which I don't believe, but
He'll be
I
in
don't.
the. He'll. Be in
I
the
don't think
league.
he'll have a title.
He'll be there.
I would be remiss to say that he's not going to be in the building at all.
Yeah.
Right. We have a lot of people that kind of just find their way home to Clemson and then boom, they've got a Gatorade towel on a clipboard. I think it's not, and a lot of them are guys that we've been bitching about for the last couple minutes. But I think that
Last couple has been 45.
well, this is
45 minutes.
cheaper therapy, so
Yeah.
I think that's fine.
It's cheaper therapy. Dude, I just like I don't get. It's like what I said earlier. Like Dabo has this like I'm this woe is me like small town poor Alabama. So anyone that ever like held the door open for me, I feel obligated to like help out.
He's a rag to riches guy.
It's like
Right,
you can
but
do
the
that.
risk of destroying everything he's built from that
Correct.
story.
Yeah, you can do that without destroying $100 million a year business. Because that's what it is.
Right,
That's
which
like
he
if the
could
CEO
not give less of a shit about, to be clear.
This is like if the CEO of Google was like, "Hey, I think we should get rid of our cloud-based services. Like we should only do it on everything on a hard disk from now on." Everyone's
And
like,
handshakes only. Yeah.
Right.
And Bing and Yahoo are taking all their fired people.
correct.
It's I don't know. I mean, this is not panic button time. The hot take is not fire Dabo.
That button,
but
the container of that button's open.
No, it's not.
no, it's not.
No, it's not.
We think
It's
this
there.
is bad.
It's
This
there.
is
I
not
see
bad yet. 7-5 is bad.
I mean, we did
That's
get
when-
11 wins.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I don't know why Bailey said that. The button hasn't even been thought about being open yet.
90% of the fan base, that button's open.
Well,
I
those
think-
people on Twitter should, one, put a face to their profile and act stupid, and second, just shut up. I think
I saw one today that he had a blue check mark and he had a total of 160 followers.
Oh, so it's $8. That's great.
Yeah.
Thank you, Elon, for that.
If Dabo goes 8-4, I'll have that conversation.
Yeah.
Right. Our bad years have been 10 and 11 wins.
I am never after an 11-win season say the guy that won us 2 national titles needs to go.
No.
Regardless of how I feel about his coaching decisions.
So we're not like Ohio State.
Not even
No.
close. No.
No.
Because Ryan Day got the
Because
same
last week we were
job.
saying
and has won nothing. So
I have never said fire Dabo. I'm just extremely frustrated with his decisions.
Yeah.
the rate this is going and the direction college football is going and the roots in the ground Dabo's continue to drive deeper, I think that, do we have 2 more years before Florida State passes us firmly?
One. Next
I'd
year.
say
I'm saying like
it's
pass
next
us
year.
on
I'm not-
because they'll lose Travis after next year. But
I'm going to
I
go ahead and
think-
predict next year it's going to be Clemson and Florida State in the ACC championship game. Like mark
yeah,
that.
on a neutral field, look out, I think.
Are we changing to that structure next year?
That's
Yeah,
what I
divisions
was
are gone. So
Okay.
I just
which could not come at a worse time, honestly.
I do still question the not validity, I guess, for lack of a better word, of building a program with transfers only.
Yeah.
So
Right, but
my-
we're good enough in recruiting nationally. Like I said earlier, that's not the
Sometimes they're going to
intent.
miss. They
No.
hit with like Oklahoma.
That's not my point. That's not my
Transfers
point.
should only be used in places of need. You don't build a program.
right, of
on
which
that.
we have several, and it's glaring, which is why we're losing to damn
That's
Tennessee.
not my point. My point was with Florida State passing us. Florida
Right.
State was still 19th in recruiting last year. We had a bad year and we're 10th.
Mhm.
So,
Right, and it's
not
the same elite QB play that hit a bunch of problems for us. They're getting out Jordan Travis right now.
correct.
Yeah, I agree. You can't. I don't think you can build a long-standing program with
I'm
transfers
not
only.
going to say yet. I'm not going to say yet that you can't. But I'm hesitant.
I'm not going to say it.
say
How
that
do you
Can't-
have?
It can also
guess
go like
TCU is a
Miami
good
did this year,
example,
to
though.
be clear. That's the flip side of this.
Yeah.
You
So
said
just
think
throw
TCU is a
talent
good
on a
player?
field, and then Middle Tennessee's beating you by 30. So I
Right.
think that's important to point out.
What's that?
I was saying TCU got all these transfers going from what'd you say 5 and 7 to where they're at
Yes,
Did they have
Yes.
a bunch of transfers? How many transfers did they have?
A lot.
a lot.
A lot.
If you look on their 2 deep depth chart, it's all over the place.
But
now. I mean,
Once
it's
again-
almost like a college basketball.
Like Bailey, the running back, the backup that had like 150 yards, transfer. 2 alignment
TCU's gonna
transfers.
suck
Like
next
4
year,
defensive
though.
starters transfers.
That's my point. Is TCU's gonna suck?
I think we all could have figured it was going to be one-trick ponies.
Right, but look at the credit LSU still gets for that.
Yeah.
People
But that
call
was-
them the best team ever, and they were getting in shootouts with 5-win teams half the season. So I think that's.
I mean, they still boat raced Oklahoma in the playoffs.
That was a very dominant team.
Last
Right,
year,
and who led the
best ever.
charge? Joe Burrow, who was
last year TCU had
transfer.
14 commitments in the portal.
Oh my.
That's
Right.
a whole side of the ball.
But last year also was a very good year for the portal because I guess it was its first year. There was a lot of.
That was the true floodgate season. I think we've had 2 or 3 cycles.
It's starting to even out a little bit.
It was because
Jordan
it was also the
Addison
first
really
year
was
of
the
NIL.
spark on that gasoline covered fire, I think.
NIL increased that just a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Colorado's transfer class. I mean, that's
Yeah. I still don't know how that's gonna go. I lean towards not great.
There's gonna be a lot of car washes to come up with that money. I'll say.
Colorado could be an example of if you can base a team off of transfers or not.
Dude, Deion's already got a 5-star receiver from IMG committed. He's gonna do fine.
Yeah. It's also the Pac-12. There's a lot of room to build yourself
It's
up
also
there.
the Pac-12. Yeah.
Look at USC today.
Well, they're gonna be not in the conference in 2 years. So.
Also
So,
true.
do we want to get into the playoff games?
Yeah, that was the best semifinal duo ever by several miles, I think.
Ever? No, there was no games compared to that. Maybe the Oklahoma-Georgia Rose Bowl a couple years ago, but
Right,
That's
singular
a-
game.
Yeah,
but
singular game.
yeah.
the expectation has been blowout, maybe a close game, and we got 2 edge of your seat, go nowhere. You're watching commercials, make sure you don't miss a snap type deals.
There's been 3, I saw a stat. There's 3 10-point margins or something like that or less than 10 points in playoff games or something like that. And we got 2.
We were Bama and Ohio State.
What?
Ohio State. You said, Saturday Saturday was 2 of those 3.
No, this was before.
We're talking historically. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm saying we had that with Bama and Ohio State in the past. We were the 2 out of the 3.
Right.
Georgia, Oregon, or Georgia, Oklahoma.
How much did we beat Ohio State by the first playoff?
31.
31.
No, not the first one. 20 when we went to play LSU. How much?
We
did
won
beat
by
them?
4 because
It was
Justin
closer.
Fields
We were down
interception in the
16-0.
middle.
That was a good game too.
Justin Fields threw a pick in the middle of the of the end zone.
That's
Nolan
right.
Turner.
That's right. Yeah, we could.
And
Yeah, there was 3 before this year. And
Should have lost
2
that. We should have lost that game.
It was Ohio State, Alabama the first year, Clemson or Georgia, Oklahoma in the Rose Bowl, then us in the Fiesta Bowl.
Okay.
Right.
So that was only semifinals that you're counting. Not
Yeah.
Okay.
Here's a question. You guys think this strengthens or weakens the case for 12?
Some of these other,
I mean,
you also got to
Sure.
look at the other New Year's Six bowls too, because Clemson and Tennessee, that's a matchup for 12 teams.
You can argue
Right.
both. You can argue both ways. I would say in large part it hurts the argument for 12 because it's very clear that these were the 4.
That's where I'm at.
But then, you see what Alabama did to Kansas State. What happens if they end up facing a TCU, Georgia?
Dude, it's Bryce Young and Will Anderson against Kansas State.
I know, but still, that's what.
going to happen.
Yeah, but
That level of matchup will still happen. It'll just be 4 times a year now. In
But
Alabama.
then again, everybody thought that Michigan, I'm not going to say would boat race, but wouldn't struggle with TCU.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I thought they would
that's pretty
handle
fair. Yeah, absolutely.
And look what happened. So you never know. You really never
Right,
know.
but if TCU has to beat a 3-loss team to even get to a game like that, what's the point of that?
like Jacob said, both sides are in play.
Mhm.
Yeah, you
Oh,
can
absolutely.
argue both sides.
Yeah, I mean, it is clear they're the best 4 teams. Bama did look good though. I got to give them that.
Kansas State.
Yeah.
Kansas State just beat TCU.
Yeah,
I
but that's the
think
second time.
I
It's hard to
think
beat a team
Alabama-
twice.
I think, honest to God, Alabama beats Michigan, TCU, Kansas State, Everyone except for Alabama and Georgia, honest to God.
Ohio State and Georgia.
Yeah. But I think
I don't
Michigan
know.
but I think Michigan and TCU beat Ohio State.
We saw one.
Yeah.
I just think that's how they match up the best.
Just matchups, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just questioning, do we think that, and this has happened every year with the final rankings, does a 3-loss team deserve to be a part of this?
Who's a 3-loss team?
Top 4?
Well, no. When we expand to 12, there will be guaranteed 3-loss teams in the playoff every single year.
Oh yeah.
Because historically, I think it was Austin Pendergast that tweeted it when the playoff expansion was first announced that there have been one, if not two or three, 3-loss teams in the top 12 of the final rankings heading into the postseason.
I mean, Florida State was a 3-loss team, right?
Yeah.
That's the team I wouldn't want to play in the playoffs.
Were they top 12, though? I honestly don't know.
They'll
think
probably
they
end
were
up top
12.
12.
I think they were 12.
Right, but if they weren't 12 going into their bowl game, then they wouldn't have made the playoff.
I think they
they were 12th going into the bowl game.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was either like them or Washington.
All the teams I mix up. So,
Dude, I mean, it doesn't matter. More football is good football. Like,
right. I mean, I think the consensus was expansion fine, 6 or 8. Let's see how it goes, then go 12. But
right.
I think that the jump
That
to 12,
Washington
you can't
was.
put the toothpaste back if you go to 12 and the product sucks.
There's not enough parity in college football to
Oh.
warrant 12.
Utah was a 3-loss team. Kansas State was a 3-loss team, and they would have been in the playoffs. So
Yeah, I mean, right. But I'm saying for every one of those teams, there's a team like Clemson last year who limped with 3 losses into a Cheez-It Bowl type matchup. I mean, Purdue, I don't think they were ranked, were they? They got beat 56-7 today by LSU, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Yeah, they were not ranked. Definitely not ranked.
Okay. I know LSU.
they just
Linger
ended
got
up
there.
there.
Why did they go with a 12 team instead of like 8 team? Because
Money.
there's
Right. Yeah. That was
Every
my big
question-
point. I think we were all in agreement too.
Every question
Every
can be
question is-
answered by the same answer.
money.
Mark Emmert saw more zeros and more dollar signs, and so that's where we're headed.
Because like 1 and 12, there is no, or like however they're doing it, there's no chance.
By the way, it needs to be said, Mark Emmert does not control the college football playoff.
Well, I'm blaming somebody that's first name I thought of. So
That's fair. I respect that.
quickly, 12 Washington, 11 Penn State, 10 Southern Cal, 9 Kansas State. I pull up the rankings, so it's on the top of my head.
Yeah. 8 was Utah.
Yes. Yeah.
Well,
7
and 2 of
us.
them.
Go
You
ahead.
got to remember, Kansas State won their conference. Utah won their conference. So there goes those.
They'd have
Those
buys.
are automatic bids. Yeah, you can have a 4-loss
Right.
team
Us too.
theoretically.
Yeah.
Lose 2 out of conference games, win all their other conference games, and they'll get in the playoffs.
Right, and plus the G5 aspect of it, Tulane would have been, what are they sitting, 16? They would have been left out. I think they're much better.
No, I don't
No,
know.
they
how
would have been in.
Yeah, there would be a.
It's the highest.
Is there a
group of
carve
5
out for the?
conference.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Never mind.
Yes.
Highest group of 5 conference champion.
Which there should be.
Man, we're
Yeah.
low in the AP and the coaches. I didn't realize.
Well, yeah.
Low.
Who
Top 10.
cares?
Yeah, I know, but
I don't care about anything anymore. The only thing I care about is if you're in the playoffs, and we weren't.
And the Jaguars are.
And the Jags are
About to say we got some
freaking hot,
NFL
baby.
playoff things going on.
Good segue, Big B. Good segue.
No, we don't. Hey, I'm adopted the Jaguars now, so.
I was about to
No,
say, hop on somewhere, Bailey. You deserve it for the ride you've been on the last couple of weeks.
No,
Yeah.
his team is the team of next year.
Well, no, because they
Say
decided
that.
to win like 4 in a row. So
We're the team of next year since we made the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Bailey, what draft pick are y'all slotted in for right now?
like
That is a great
7
question.
probably.
Go to tankathon.com. That's what I always use.
Yeah, they'll have it. Speaking of the Jaguars, though, they will be Saturday night on 5 days rest playing for the AFC South Championship against Josh Dobbs,
Ooh,
as it was announced today.
9.
And Tennessee, that's disgusting. And the Tennessee Titans, so a chance for some more Tennessee quarterbacks not expected to play in big spots to make an impact. But do we think there's any chance the Jaguars blow this, even on 5 days rest
Don't
compared to
say
8?
it. Don't
Because
say
the
it.
it.
NFL is stupid.
Well, yeah.
No, the Titans are on 8 days rest.
Right, that's what I'm saying. They have a 3-day rest disadvantage.
Oh. Do I in my heart of hearts tells me the Jaguars could beat anybody in the NFL right now. My brain
agree.
is telling me that they're still the Jaguars.
Yeah, they're going to Jaguars it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I certainly will be
Grayson,
picking them, and I hope
you
that,
understand, Grayson, that we now root for the exact same franchise, right?
right. Yeah, no. I mean, this wasn't me saying, hey, I think the Titans are going to win. I'm just saying I was making
Yeah, I
sure we're
know.
all in
But
unison
I
here.
mean, it just kind of dawned on me, like, we root for the same team. Like, tall quarterback. Both franchises just always shoot themselves in the foot.
Right. We're just more talented. So it makes
Are you?
the Chargers.
Yes.
Stop
Yes. Shut your mouth.
I think QB, we got an advantage.
Did you test your breaker by putting your hand in it or something? What are we doing here?
I think we have a QB advantage.
That's
Okay,
it.
name one
Maybe.
more.
Huh?
Name a single other one, even though that's
That's all
not
that
true.
matters. That's all that matters in the NFL.
That had Nick Foles beat
QBs
Tom Brady.
win.
How?
Yeah.
Quarterback.
Yeah, quarterback play.
Yeah, Brady also threw for 500 yards in that game and lost. So,
Jaguars have a better defense.
no, they don't.
Bosa is back.
Bosa is back. You're right.
Talent or better, because, I mean, neither are true, but we can break it down
What
separately if you'd
about
like.
targeting wise?
Targeting-wise, I think the NFL is soft. You've let guys turn their brains into jello for 40 years, and now you want to throw a guy out for a shoulder? Really? Honestly? And we still won, so screw you. It didn't even work.
It needs to be said that the NFL let Aaron Hernandez die.
They might be letting Tua die too.
Fact.
I mean, they had enough of this to make a whole concussion movie. So I think that
I
Tua
don't
just
know
needs
how.
to scratch up the season and not play.
Tua literally
I
needs
don't
to
know.
not play.
I don't know how the NFL hasn't stepped in and be like, "Yo, Tua, you're not playing."
Box office, that's why.
Yeah, well, they're eliminated from the playoffs now. Oh wait,
No,
Tua's
they're
not
not.
playing Sunday.
They're not. They're
Tua's not-
alive.
Tua's not playing Sunday though.
Yeah,
Right.
Schefter just came out saying he's not part of their plans.
Right.
Well, the problem is Tua could be fully healed, but it's still the question of that next hit that he'll never be healthy enough to withstand another hit like that.
It's the
That's
Hall
the issue.
Morton.
Like and he's not playing. So I think that
Hall Morton.
we gave him every helmet in the history of the universe, and he still could not, withstand.
Yeah,
the
Paul
hits
Morton
that
even had the
got him
test
in trouble.
dummies.
I think that, from a quality of life standpoint, Tua should seriously contemplate retiring, honestly.
I think I genuinely also think that he should think about it. I don't think he will.
Yeah.
No, I don't
But
think so either.
I'm not
He's got
sure
the
he should
capabilities.
retire, but I think he should think about it.
I think there needs to be drastic changes in playing style. I'll say that, which is what
I
makes
think-
him good, to be fair. But
I just think that he's a little doughboy and is very injury prone.
I wouldn't call head stuff injury prone though.
I mean, but if you combine the head stuff with like college and like
Right, the hip and everything else is a different issue. I think neck up, I don't know if you can really. I mean, there's only one way to fix it.
you
It's not
can.
get hit.
He's gotten. Go ahead, Jacob.
I mean, there's very substantial studies out there that relate like neck strength to concussion proneness.
Oh, that's what I was about to say too. He's got a weak neck.
Yeah. His neck game is weak.
There, I was waiting for that.
There's the A to B we didn't want.
Easy. How's Met? Never mind.
He can.
Well, I don't know if y'all heard me, but I said the Panthers have the 9th pick. So Houston's going to get a quarterback. Then it's right now Chicago, Seattle, Arizona, Indy,
Congrats on Will Levis.
quarterback.
I mean,
Vegas
literally.
might get a quarterback.
Yeah, Vegas is definitely getting a quarterback.
Vegas, yeah. I mean, they just benched the one they've overpaid and propped up for years.
I mean,
so,
do the Panthers even end up with a quarterback? Or are other teams going to get him before we do?
just trade up them.
Hang on.
Trading
Let me
up's
see.
the only answer, honestly.
Yeah, you guys should trade up to like pick 2. Trade with the Bears.
Chicago can't take a quarterback. They're stuck.
We got plenty of picks with
Oh, by the
from
way-
McCaffrey.
By the way, Justin Fields sucks.
He's a running back. He's a running back.
Lamar Jackson won a unanimous MVP doing the same damn thing. So
Lamar
I
Jackson
don't.
can throw a hell of a lot better.
Yeah.
Can he throw great though?
No.
Right. I mean, this is splitting hairs. I think. With
Yeah,
the two of them.
Bailey, you guys are gonna have to trade up if you want a quarterback.
Yeah.
And they have the assets to do it
But-
because of how well they've drafted in the past. So
Houston,
I mean, the thing is-
Houston will draft a quarterback.
they have to.
The Seahawks could draft a quarterback.
They also
would
have
need
to. They're not paying Geno Smith.
Right. The Colts could draft a quarterback.
have to.
The Lions could draft a quarterback. I know, like, they probably won't. But
They
could.
would
but
be a Levis
here's-
project spot.
Where does Derek Carr end up? Does he end up with the
The
Colts?
XFL, the CFL, Arena Ball near you, maybe. I don't know.
Oh my god.
Atlanta could draft a quarterback, and Vegas is probably drafting a quarterback. So yeah,
Here's the
only
thing.
option-
I don't.
What?
I can also see us not drafting a quarterback either because Sam Darnold has been playing well, and Matt Corral's still coming back next year.
The problem
So,
is this is your best shot with draft
Right.
capital and player capital to get a top-tier draft quarterback.
As
Yeah,
good as
but
the
we-
defense is and young, like talent-wise, like, this is your best shot.
You're
You
not
gotta
getting
remember,
Drake May and Caleb
Who-
Williams next year.
This
Who's
should
going
not
to be
happen
there,
again.
though? Who's going to be there by the time?
At 9, that's the point. Like, probably
Yeah,
That's
no.
the issue. Yeah,
Unless we lose a couple games, someone else wins like this week. Like,
won't happen.
But the
I mean,
ninth pick is good enough to where you're not gonna have to give up like 3 first like you
Right.
would if you're the 25th pick.
here's the thing: if Vegas wins and Atlanta wins and we lose, we go up to 7.
Right, but listen to that really quick.
Yeah,
I know,
I mean,
I know,
come
but
on.
still, like, yeah, there needs help. We need help at all, but still, like,
And plus,
and
those two
we-
teams are well aware of what's at stake.
Yeah,
Should they
and the
win?
Panthers suck at drafting anyway.
Well, I mean, not on defense.
So
They've
is
got
Bryce
really-
Young?
Jacob, we had
going
a
to
whole
Houston, though?
whole draft where we just drafted defensive players.
But that's largely worked.
yeah.
2 years down the road,
Well,
That's still
the
going to
goal.
work, though. I think that could have gone
and the
much,
offense
much
hasn't
worse.
gone anywhere.
Yeah, that could have went way worse.
The Raiders' first-round draft like a while ago, that
Yeah.
was bad. What y'all did was much better.
Their
than that.
past 3 drafts have been bad.
I mean, the whole Mike Mayock era was a disaster, but it was awesome. I just think that. Futures-wise, I just real quick going to run this guys by you. Let's see, like, venture out a bit as far as like value-wise, but give me one like you think maybe stands out as far as the odds to win the Super Bowl right now. Big Bills Bengals matchup kicking off right about now, but Bills plus 350, Chiefs plus 450, Eagles plus 550, Niners 6-1, Bengals 8-1, Cowboys 10-1, Deshaun 30-0, wrong list, Buccaneers 25-1, Chargers 25-1. What stands out there
Give me
as
the
far
Niners.
The
as Super Bowl odds?
Bengals seem low.
Whoa. What?
The Niners
You say,
at
like,
6-1.
Yeah, since he's 8-1, Niners 6-1.
Yeah,
Mm.
I think
Is
Cincy
Buffalo
should be
really
ahead
the
of Niners.
favorite? Is Buffalo
They
the
are, yeah.
favorite, though? And is that reasonable? Like
Reasonable,
Mhm.
yeah.
I mean,
I think-
Griffin,
over
if you
Kansas
bet-
City?
if you bet the Bengals right now and they win tonight, you could get some good value for that.
Yeah.
for that slip.
Yeah, I think that drops a decent amount if they do win tonight.
Speaking of which, let's go ahead and look
They
at
don't
have to.
think-
Be, I mean, if they beat, I mean, didn't that be if they win tonight, they're the 1 seed.
Yeah.
Right, that's the theory. Yeah, that's why Bengals are the one that surprised me the most as well, just given the situation they could find themselves in 3 hours.
Yeah, with home playoff game throughout the playoff and a bye,
Right, and a
And
home
they're-
field that's shown to really matter. So
and they're half of the Bengals, or they're half of the whatever the hell that
Bills.
are. Yeah, and the Chiefs. A little suspicious is all I'm saying.
Are the Bengals that good? I didn't
Bengals
think
are
they were
good.
that good.
yeah, they've won like 7 straight, I think.
Yeah.
They
6 or
started
7
off
straight. The Bills
0-2.
have won.
Joe
6 or 7
Burrow
straight as
that
well.
good? That's my
Yeah.
question.
Yeah, he's
Don't
excellent.
ever speak on Joey B again.
Holy crap! 40.
Yeah,
60.
The Bengals have won 7 in a row, and the 49ers have won 9.
Right.
Shout out Chris McCaffrey.
What's going on with the Eagles right now?
That was stupid.
Everyone's
They don't have
Uh,
Jalen Hurts.
Gardner Minshew's lost back-to-back games to them because Jalen Hurts is out. That's why.
Everyone's
Is
hurt.
Hurts coming back?
Maybe.
He
Yeah.
may. They're at risk of
What's
losing
his
home
injury?
field, though.
I think
The
he sprained
shoulder.
his AC joint. Yeah.
Oof. Throw an armor now.
That's the Dalton Black injury.
Yeah. I don't think Grayson, you know what that means, but
No, they didn't go to our high school.
I know
I
he
was
laughed
helping
Yeah,
at
him
that's
it.
why I looked. I was like, what?
But no, what was I gonna say?
I don't know,
forgot.
Beezy. What were you gonna say?
Damn it.
I forgot. I don't know. I was gonna say something about the Eagles.
Eagles?
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
I lost it.
Great.
I did see something tonight that the matchup between the Bills and the Bengals is the most wins ever on a Monday Night Football game.
Since like
Yeah.
Elway played somebody.
Yeah.
Does not surprise me.
But yeah,
A lot
should
of
be a
money
good
on
one.
this game for me.
I mean,
Has this started yet, Bailey?
Yeah, just did.
All right.
Tre'Davious White just got a PI.
I wouldn't mind Beatles scoring.
who do y'all think's winning that one?
Bills.
I hope Josh Allen has a better game than Joe Burrow. For my personal sake.
I'll
got him on
take the
fantasy?
Bills.
Yeah, and if I win this game, I win $400. So
You have Josh Allen?
yeah,
On your team?
I got
Oh, wow.
I got Josh Allen, and my cousin has
Joe.
Joe Burrow and T Higgins.
Oh.
I'm up by
Good
40.
for you.
Honestly, the hedge bet just bet T to score. I feel like that's the only way you really would drop that matchup. But
Nah,
That's
I'm
just
winning
me.
the personal. I'm on the personal ship.
That's just Grayson.
Yeah, I didn't realize Joe Burrow was doing so good either. Like 69%, 4,300 yards.
well, they had a Super Bowl hangover like the first month, like the Rams did. Just the
Yeah.
Rams have
They-
nosedived,
they-
and the Bengals are contenders again.
They took some Pedialyte and said, "Let's roll."
Yeah. Speaking of eliminated teams like the Rams, did you guys see Riverboat Ron post game Sunday?
Yeah, RBR is done.
He was done after he left Carolina.
I don't understand how in the year 2023 now, as he was on the podium on New Year's Day, how you don't know that you could be eliminated from postseason contention on a given Sunday, being it's the second to last week of the year, and then you throw Carson Wentz out there to play like shit for 3 hours and lose. I don't understand it.
You should
Like, how is that
literally have a guy
possible?
on staff.
They
That's
pay
his
$5
sole
million
job.
for a team of people to sit in front of computers and tell him that. And I get he's one of the dying age old school guys, but like, how the hell do you not know that?
Yeah. Because he probably just doesn't want to know.
I mean, that's one of the more embarrassing post game things I've ever seen. And Urban Meyer had like 6 of those, so I don't quite get how I thought it was a joke, honestly. Like, I watched the full clip and saw his like facial expression. He truly had no idea. And I don't.
But he
I
also
don't-
he moved to Carson Wentz. That's when you know you're done for.
Well, he didn't move off from him is the issue, and he had like
No,
3 turnovers
they
and was
were-
terrible.
Yeah, they were winning with Taylor Heineke, and then they brought in Wentz. I guess Heineke kind of got to his plateaued.
Right, he had a rough start, and they put Wentz in. I think they might have actually won that game. I don't know, but with Wentz as the starter from the start, he's been atrocious, which is the same story in Indy. I don't understand why they went and got him, honestly, with Heineke there, but I think that's, were they going to win a playoff game? No, but we've seen Taylor Heineke get pretty close in the past. He almost beat Brady in Tampa. So, I mean, I think that that was one of the more stunning things from an otherwise pretty quiet Sunday for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't an insane Sunday. I mean,
No, I mean, Packers Vikings would have
blowout.
bet the weird favorite, and they won.
Yeah.
41-17, maybe somewhere in there.
Yeah. Vikings aren't good.
Vikings still undefeated in 1-score games because when they lose, it's by 1,000,000 points. So they still sit 11-0 in 1-score games, but have lost by 30 to Green Bay and the Cowboys. And then 2 scores and change to Philly early on that Monday night game, like week 2. So I think the book's pretty much written on this Vikings team. It's just a question of who's going to beat them in the playoffs. And, will it be the first game or by some miracle the second game? Because I don't see how this team actually, gets to a conference championship as good as the NFC is shaping up to be.
Yeah, their defense is terrible. What's his face? Jair Alexander shut down Justin Jefferson. Kirk Cousins looked awful. It was just a bad game. There were a lot of blowouts this weekend too. Like Jacksonville blew out Texans. Lions blew out the Bears 41-10. Missed on the over. Suckers.
That was bad. That should have gone over.
Giants Colts 38-10. Seahawks Jets 23-6. Like There were some good games mixed in there, like the Patriots beat the Dolphins. Falcons and
Backdoor cover
Cardinals
there,
came down to a game-winning field goal.
I was surprised by that Falcons game a bit just because David Blau was playing for Arizona. I realized the J.J. Watt effect and all that stuff, but I mean, those are two atrocious teams. But I thought Atlanta would do a bit better, need a chip shot to win that game. But like you said, not the most eye-opening slate. Thankfully, the Chargers removed themselves from the clinch race. They're actually sitting 5th right now. I think it was who asked me about that last night? Was it you, Jacob?
Yeah, I think so.
I wasn't sure where we stood with Baltimore on tiebreakers, but we sit 5 right now after their last-second loss to the Steelers last night. And if we can handle Denver this Sunday to close out the regular season, a game in which we're not going to sit anybody per Staley today, so it looks like we're going to be fully chasing that 5 seed, and we will play, hopefully, the Jacksonville Jaguars in Jacksonville in a couple weeks.
Nah.
Who's winning that one?
Me, Jaguars. Not even close.
I mean,
You play down
take
to your
the
opponents,
Chargers.
Grayson.
That's fine. Yeah, I mean, we got Cameron Dicker, so I'm not worried about it.
Has he
Ooh,
missed a kick
Jacksonville.
yet?
He's missed one. He's 95%. They flashed it the other day. I meant to mention it. I meant to go look it up too, but has not missed an extra point, so that'll be what he misses to win the game. If I find odds on that, I will bet it.
I would hate to see it.
Shut up, Bailey.
My Jaguars are going to win it all.
I mean, if the Chargers were out of it, I would be fully on the Jaguars bandwagon with you guys. So, wow. Tyler Boyd, touchdown to kick the scoring off in Buffalo tonight. Anything else, NFL, college? Bailey, bowl pool update, please.
Yeah, Grayson has secured victory in the bowl pool.
By how much? Again, I forget these things.
You got a 4-point lead, right? 4-point lead right now.
Jesus.
Okay. And there's how many games left?
1.
Okay. All right. Thank you. I appreciate it.
I overtook Jacob. There's no way I can win any money, so.
Who's in the contention for second and third?
I
know it's super close.
Sarai has Ohio State for the national championship.
Jack Sarai
That's
is
a
in
problem.
this?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I thought he was going to win it, honestly.
There will be a tie for second, so. And probably a tie for third.
Well, we'll update you guys on that as it does shake out. Because honestly, I mean, I haven't been paying much attention just because of the lead I somehow stumbled out to. But there is some money to be won behind me, and it's going to be exciting to see who takes that home a week from tonight. Quickly, anybody going to be bold and take TCU to win the championship?
No.
Nope. Not at all.
I can't either, and I think that's just what Sonny Dykes wants at this point, I think. Spread open at 13.5, I believe, and worth noting the years and teams escape me, but the last 2 teams, or maybe the 2 biggest underdogs to this point in the college football title game, have both won outright. It was like 10 and 11 points. Nothing super recently, but no, I don't either. So, will history repeat itself? The top 3 underdogs in the history of the championship game all went outright. I mean, it'd be the perfect college football stat, but I don't think it happens though.
Fact. Yeah, I don't. I'm not picking them. So.
All right. Anything else?
Beezy?
Nah, I mean, I was just gonna mention the if we wanted to speak about like people who are declaring, Brian declaring.
Maybe we'll do an NFL draft.
Once we hear from all of them.
Yeah. It's too early to.
Okay.
But I mean, quickly, Brian's gonna be a first-round pick. He deserves all the money he's about to come into as an NFL draft pick, and I think he'll be great in the league. In all honesty.
Yeah.
This time next week we should know. Like, is there
the deadline's the 16th?
16th.
It's quickly approaching. Yeah.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
I don't think they'll drag it out until then either. I think Brian. I mean, hopefully they let Brian do it solo to give him the recognition he deserves, and then we'll have a contingent coming back. That's my hope at this point, selfishly.
Yeah. Only time will tell.
Yeah. But we'll react to those as they come through.
Yep. I think that's it, boys.
I ain't got anything else.
Me neither.
Me either. That was a good hour and a half.
Very heavily Clemson, but that's how it usually is, and everybody will get over it because that's what
It'll
we are.
be reflected in the title, so it'll be fair warning. Apple, Spotify, same stuff. This will be on YouTube if I get it to upload to there. And other than that, follow us on Twitter at the 1009 for all the links to this stuff and a bunch of other dumb stuff that we tweet out throughout the week.
Yep.
Oh, and big board update from Jacob.
Yeah,
Very
I gotta
soon.
get that. I'll get that this week.
Very, very soon.
Yeah, somebody need to remind me.
Do a top 9 at least mock draft so we can get the Panthers thoughts out there.
Okay, yeah, I can do that.
Yeah, and then just throw in the last guy to get top 10.
Sure.
Well,
Ideally.
Yeah,
All right, I'll
pretty
put it
simple.
out this week. I'll put it out this week.
Yeah. We'll get it out there for you.
Yeah, we'll get it out for the people.
Yeah. All right. Deuces.
Subscribe.